Many propose using corn ethanol to fuel passenger vehicles and airplanes to help our climate. However, corn ethanol should be abandoned as it damages climate and air quality, raises costs, and requires enormous swaths of land relative to battery electric vehicles powered by wind or solar. Hi, I'm Mark Jacobson, Professor of Civil and Environmental Engineering at Stanford University, to tell you why. First, for passenger cars, U.S. ethanol is blended with gasoline in mixtures of 10 to 83% ethanol and the rest gasoline. For airplanes, ethanol is an ingredient in what is called sustainable aviation fuel, which replaces jet fuel. Not only does the use of corn for fuel instead of food increase corn prices by 30%, according to a recent study, but it also results in up to 24% higher greenhouse gas emissions per unit energy than gasoline. These emissions are from fertilizing and cultivating corn, refining corn to ethanol, transporting the ethanol, and burning the ethanol for fuel. Although carbon dioxide comes out of the air to grow the corn, that reduction is not nearly enough to offset the other greenhouse gases emitted to make ethanol. On the other hand, driving a battery electric car powered by wind or solar reduces greenhouse gas and air pollutant emissions by 99.5% versus gasoline. So using ethanol for travel only increases climate and pollution damage versus using a battery electric or hydrogen fuel cell electric car or aircraft powered by wind or solar. On top of that, the ethanol industry now occupies 1.24% of U.S. land just to grow corn for supplying only 4% of U.S. transportation energy. The high land use is because photosynthesis needed to grow corn is only 1% efficient. Meanwhile, solar panels are now 25% efficient, so occupy only 4% of the land needed for corn to supply the same energy. On top of that, an electric car uses 1/4 the energy as an ethanol car to go the same distance. So driving an electric car powered by solar uses only 1% of the land needed to drive a corn ethanol vehicle. Adding carbon capture to ethanol refineries makes this problem worse because it requires building thousands of miles of pipelines among all refineries and adding energy to compress and push the CO2 through the pipelines, so more air pollution and much higher costs. A study we performed found that adding carbon capture and pipelines to dozens of ethanol refineries in 5 upper Midwest U.S. states will cost ethanol vehicle drivers $40 to $60 billion more over 30 years and result in far higher CO2, air pollution, and land use than simply moving to equivalent battery electric vehicles powered by wind. The higher cost is due to the fact that an ethanol car costs a single driver $25,000 more in fuel cost over 15 years than an equivalent electric car. Thus, ethanol, even with carbon capture, is an opportunity cost that will damage climate and air quality, occupy far more land, and saddle consumers with much higher expenses for decades than investing in electric vehicles powered by wind or solar. Thank you.